Most people think investing decisions are binary, but they forget the most important rule. The most important decision in investing is not what you buy, it's how big. Two people can buy the same asset at the same price for the same reasons and end up with completely different outcome. Not because one was right and one was wrong, but because one sized it incorrectly and had to make a decision with emotions, not logic. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Taha. I've been deploying capital for many years now, and I've been able to achieve a considerable amount of returns. In this video, I'm going to walk through how I think about position sizes. Not formulas, not tactics, the logic behind why size is the decision. This isn't advice, it's how I deploy my own capital. Why most people oversize? Most people oversize positions for one reason. They confuse confidence with certainty. Confidence is how strongly you believe in something. Certainty is how little room you have to be wrong. Markets don't offer certainty, they offer probabilities. When people oversize, it's usually because they feel good about an idea. Not because the risk is actually controlled. Emotion doesn't show up as fear first, it shows up as conviction. That's why position size is the first place discipline breaks. Position size is risk expression. Position size is how you express risk, not how you express belief. Belief is cheap, risk is not. Every position carries uncertainty. Size determines how much that uncertainty can hurt you. I don't ask how right do I feel, I ask how wrong can I be and still stay rational. If being wrong would force me to react emotionally, that position is too big, no exceptions. Why small positions are a feature. Small positions get dismissed. People think they're pointless. They're not. Small positions buy you information. They let you observe price behavior without psychological pressure. They let you stay objective. They let you be wrong cheaply. I would rather be early and small than late and large. Most people invert this. They go big because they don't want to miss out. That's not investing. That's a fear wearing confidence as a mask. Conviction is not static. Conviction is not something you decide once. It evolves. As information change, as price change, as risk changes, size should move with clarity, not with excitement. If conviction increases because uncertainty decreases, size can increase. If conviction increases because price went up, that's not conviction, that's momentum bias. If a price move changes my mood, that position is too big. If I'm checking it too often, it's too big. If I'm hoping instead of thinking, it's too big. Size should allow clarity, not anxiety. Emotional reactions are data. They tell you when risk is mispriced, when and when not to add. One of the most common questions I get is when to add to a position. Most people already know the answer, they just don't like it. I only add when uncertainty has decreased, not when price has gone up, not when I feel better about it. Price going up does not automatically reduce risk. Sometimes it increases it. If new information makes the downside clearer, if the range of outcomes narrows, if the thesis becomes simpler, not more complex, then size can increase. Otherwise, I leave it alone. Adding just because you're up is usually ego, not discipline. Why averaging down is usually ego. Averaging down gets misunderstood. In theory, it can make sense. In practice, it's usually emotions. Most people average down because they don't want to be wrong, not because the risk profile have improved. Price going down does not mean value went up. It means something changed. Your job is to understand what. If the new information increases uncertainty, I don't add. If the new information reduces uncertainty, but price hasn't adjusted yet, then adding can make sense. Those situations are rare, which is why most averaging down is just disguised hope. The maximum damage rules. Before I enter any position, I know the maximum damage it can do. Not theoretically, practically. I ask one question. If this goes wrong, does it impair my ability to make a decision? If the answer is yes, the position is too big. No exceptions. Capital is finite, but judgment is more fragile. Big losses don't just reduce capital, they reduce decision quality. My first job is to stay rational. Everything else is secondary. Drawdowns are mathematical, not emotional. Most people underestimate drawdowns, not emotionally, mathematically. A small drawdown is easy to recover from. A large one is not. The bigger the loss, the harder the recovery. That's not opinion, that's math. Position size determines drawdown, not intelligence. The goal is not to avoid losses. The goal is to avoid losses that change behavior. Once behavior changes, compounding breaks. Why professionals survive? Professionals don't win because they're always right. They win because they survive. Survival is a sizing problem, not a prediction problem. If you survive long enough, a few good decisions dominate the outcome. But you don't get there by swinging big. You get there by controlling damage. Position size is how you control damage. This way of thinking doesn't just apply to markets, it applies to any decision involving uncertainty. Effort, time, capital, the mistake is always the same. Oversizing commitment before uncertainty is resolved. Good decision makers scale exposure with clarity, not excitement. That principle shows up everywhere, not just investing. Position size is discipline made visible. It's where your thinking meets reality. You can say you're rational, size shows whether you are. In future videos, I'll walk through real decisions before outcomes, and I'll show you how size changes as information changes, not as emotions change. If you care about surviving long enough for good decisions to matter, you'll probably enjoy what's next.